don't believe in rule of law. And when you don't believe in rule of law, then when a court can say one thing and you do another thing.
Is it that we don't?
That is why you can have violence on the street when institutionally we cannot abide by the law. Then why do you expect somebody on the street not to appeal to self-help? There's no example from the top. Just as the French revolutionary said, he said if a society does not change from the top to the bottom, then they want to change it from the bottom to the top. In other words, if there's no example, no shining light from the leadership, everybody else appeals to self-help. And when you say you want to put soldiers there, when the law says, no, you shouldn't, if that is what you're calling for.
Well, let's look at examples.
Can I respond to him?
Okay, briefly, before we go to the next point.
This is quite silly. The candidate of the APC is a man who was a military man, and he overthrew a democratically elected government. Okay, so let's understand it. First of all, he is the one that has a track record of subverting the legal process. Number two, he is the one that is telling us that if certain things don't happen, dogs and the baboons will be soaked in blood. He is the one that made speeches at the last election, and over 1,000 people got killed. So please, the government, there is going to be a change of government one way or the other. On 29th of May, another a new term will begin for a president. Well, until then, there is a president. Until then. Now, please, that president has certain powers guaranteed him under the Constitution. Part of the power is that he has the determination, he has the latitude to determine what to do to maintain peace and security. And he can decide to use the military to do so. He has done it in the past, and we have not had problems with it. So I don't know what all the noise is about.
Just a few sentences. Is it not an irony that the man who was a military man, who overthrew a government, is the one calling for constitutionalism, and the one who's supposed not to have done that is the one calling for tyranny? Isn't that ironic?
Let's do this. Now, Mr. Omatseye, tell us,
yes,
who or where would you say that the PDP has shown example in terms of, because both of them were present on the day where they signed the peace accord.
Yes.
Does that count for something or nothing?
It should count for something. But we've seen that the peace accord has not been really followed to the letter. Even if we have seen that even in terms of language used by, he was talking about violence. Violence is not, you can read the novel by Festus Yagi titled Violence. Violence is not only what you do by way of killing somebody, which is reprehensible enough. Violence is also what you do by language. When some people call themselves elders start saying that they should fire Jega, who is the electoral umpire, without any recourse to what the Constitution says, you are doing violence to the Constitution. When you say they should impose military, when the law and the court says no, you are doing violence to the Constitution. You are a coup maker, or you are a coup maker in the making. That's very simple. You can't do that. You can't accept that in a democratic society.
That's nonsense.
It's going back to antediluvian times.
That is nonsense. It is our prerogative. We can ask for somebody to be fired or not fired. I have asked for Jega to be fired. We can ask for anybody to be fired. That's what democracy is about. It is the same candidate of the APC who signed an agreement for peace, who then said he was going to break it, and that he was getting tired because he was being attacked, that his patience is limited, etc. And this is a recourse back to what we know of him. He's the one, he signed an agreement and he's telling us.
To break it. He didn't say so.
The statement was made.
I don't know where you got that quote.
Okay, let's talk about solutions now. Let's talk about solutions because it's an election year. Both parties are campaigning to be re-elected and elected.
Yes.
Tell us then, what kind of solutions, what do you think can be done by, say, the APC or the PDP to ensure that, look, not just reining in their supporters now, because that may as well just sound theoretical, but practical steps to ensure that we curb this?
PDP, APC, tell your supporters, abide by the rule of law. But those who have power, those who have powers.
Both of them have.
No. No.
Both the APC
when you are,
and
when
the
you
PDP.
are, when you are PDP and you are Goodluck Jonathan, you control the army, you control the police, you control the greatest purse strings in the country. You, of all people, have the greatest responsibility for peace in the country.
What should both of them?
You don't try to put the blame on somebody who is.
What should both parties be doing?
Abide by what the law says. It's very simple. The problem with our society is that we don't abide by the rule of law. So a society without the rule of law is at the mercy of the bandit.
Okay, Mr. Aribisala, quickly, what should both of them be doing?
Both of them should be speaking to their supporters and calling them to order. Both of them should be cautioning even their party elders who speak out of tune that, look, the election is not a do-or-die affair, that people should abide by the rules, and everybody should try to keep the peace. That's what they should be doing.
We hope we can come to this and close it up, but let's go over to Mary Alala Yusuf. More interesting questions coming through from her. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Chamberlain. There have been complaints that candidates are usually less than forthcoming with concrete plans for the electorate and a clear blueprint detailing how such plans will be executed. This week's question is, would you like to see a debate between President Jonathan and General Buhari? Options are yes, no, and don't care. To vote, go to channelstv.com, pick an option, and click vote. A mix of emotions comes through as opinions are sampled across the country. Some are in favor of a debate to engage the minds of the participants as well as the electorate. Others think it's a waste of time. Watch these reactions from Plateau, Niger, and Osun states.